today I've got your Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring movie review. I really love this movie. It came out in 2001. It is when I first saw it, and I've seen all the movies in the movie theater, and I thought that they were so epic. And I haven't read any of the books except for the Two Towers, so that's the only exception for when I read books that turn into movies. I haven't really gotten into the books because I just feel like they'd be too long, and of course it was back when I was a kid. This movie I thought was really awesome. It actually got me interested in Peter Jackson as a director, and he's actually become one of my top favorite directors of all time. This movie is about, and if you haven't seen this movie or read any of the books, you probably won't know what I'm talking about, but you should definitely read the books and see the movies because they are just awesome. I really love them. This movie is about a ring, and I actually have the ring, and you can actually see the markings. It's about this ring that was from this guy Sauron, who's this badass, really evil dude, and there's a battle where he loses the ring, and then it gets in the hands of this golem creature, and he ends up losing it to a hobbit who is Bilbo, and this was during the Hobbit book era, and then later Bilbo wants to take a trip, and then this is where Frodo comes in, who's played by Elijah Wood, and I think he's absolutely brilliant in this movie. I wouldn't even picture to this day anyone else to play a better Frodo than Elijah Wood. I think he's got the blue eyes, he's got the curly hair, and he's got the hairy hobbit feet. Seriously. He is put in charge of this ring from Gandalf, who's played by Ian McKellen, who's awesome at playing the wizard, and I think is just really awesome that and also he's another actor. I couldn't picture anyone else playing his character. Frodo gets to be in charge of the ring, and then he has to take it to Mordor, but then, because he has to destroy it, because it's just pure evil, and it has the spirit of Sauron still in the ring, and you can't put it on, but when he does put it on, I think it's just you see a lot of crazy stuff happening. It's almost like an acid trip almost, but it's fiery acid trip. Anyway, with an eye, the eye of Sauron. It's very scary. He has these other hobbit friends, Sam, Merry, and Pippin, and then they're going on this trip, and then they end up meeting with this guy, Aragorn, who's played by Viggo Mortensen, and he is originally named Strider, and then he takes on the other name Aragorn later in the movie, and they come across these the Nazgul, or the Black Riders, who I thought back in the day when I was a kid, because I had seen this when I was very young, because this was back in 2001, and I was so scared about those guys. They just had they were creepy sounding and creepy looking, and they were just really creepy because they're just in black cloaks and riding these horses, and it was just really scary. And now I'm not so scared of them, but they're still kind of creepy. One of them ends up stabbing Frodo, and he gets poisoned or whatever. He can still feel bad inside because of the blade that was from the Witch King, who is the leader of the Nazgul, who stabbed him. He has to get healed by the elves, and so Aragorn has this love interest who I don't even know if she was in the book or not, but her name is Arwen, played by Liv Tyler, and I think she was really good in this movie. She definitely knew how to wield a sword and ride a horse at the same time, and then goes across the river, and then takes Frodo to her father Elrond in Rivendell, and then they have a meeting where they meet all these different like characters from like different parts of Middle Earth, like to start the Fellowship of the Ring, because they need to take the ring to Mordor. So they enlist an elf and a dwarf, Legolas and Gimli, and of course I'm a huge fan of Orlando Bloom, so I was really lucky enough to see him in this movie as an elf because I thought he was really hot. Fangirl moment. They go on like more on this journey. They have to cross mountains, they have to go underground, they have to ward off these orcs and goblins, and it's very fantasy-like, and I thought that the way that the makeup, I really want to say that the makeup and the costumes for these creatures, like all sorts of like different creatures, were really like spot on. I thought they were really creepy, and like I was really surprised. Like, this should not be something like little kids should be watching, but it's still like really fun to watch because this is what they look like, as close to the book as possible to make them without like being too scary. But I think they still looked pretty good. Of course, sad news, Gandalf dies. I was so sad. I was literally almost in tears. I don't think I cried when he died, but he died in the movie, and then everybody's all like distraught, and then they go even further on their journey. They meet another elf clan in Lothlorien with Galadriel, who is played by Cate Blanchett. I thought she was really good in her role. I thought she was like really beautiful, and like she's supposed to be this enchantress, like sorceress, and I thought she played her role really well. One of the things I'd like to point out is like the interactions between some of the characters. Oh, Boromir. I forgot about Boromir. See, it's because the reason why I forget about Boromir is because he only lives until this movie. He dies at the end of this movie. It wasn't too sad, I guess, because I mean, he was like tempted by the ring. He wanted to take it because, you know, like the men apparently are like so like easily corrupted by the ring, and he wanted to take it for himself, and he was going to like harass Frodo for it. He actually tried this a couple times in the movie, so I kind of thought he was a douchebag. But then in the end, like when he's like giving Aragorn his speech when he dies, and like that almost brought a tear to my eye, because I was like, oh, it's too bad. But oh well. They have to split up at the end of the movie, where Merry and Pippin get taken off by the orcs when they're trying to defend Boromir's honor, and then Frodo and Sam, they go off. It was originally Frodo, and Frodo didn't want Sam to come with him, but then Sam's like, you heard what Gandalf said, like, don't you leave him, Samwise Gamgee. And I was like, oh. And then he can't swim on top of that, so then he goes with Frodo in the boat, and then they just like go somewhere. Then we leave off with Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli, and then that's basically the end of the movie. They're all just split up by the end of the movie. Overall, this movie is just perfect start to the trilogy, and I just couldn't wait for the next year to come, because that's when the next movie was supposed to come out, and I just really liked it. I love the acting, I love the special effects, I love the characters, and I just love the story overall, and it really should get me interested in reading the books, because they're just, this Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien, he's amazing to come up with all these different things, and like the language, like the elf language, I thought that was really cool. So let me know in the comments what you guys thought of Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring, and if you are more of a fan of the movies than the books, or which one are you more a fan of, the books or the movies. And yeah, you guys can also subscribe to my channel. I've got more movie reviews, movie updates, come back every week for a Chill Thursday video. You guys can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter, and I will see you guys later.